Good morning, everyone. Who among of you here have boyfriends or girlfriends? Um, in your opinion, is it just enough for you to express your love personally, or do you prefer expressing your love publicly or through computer-mediated communication? Now we're going to discuss about how romance is manifested through computer-mediated communication or through the use of social networking sites. In order for you to understand how romance is defined in this particular context, I'll just give you first an overview about about the definition of romance. So first, there is a difference between love of friendship and romantic love. So according to Davis, friendship develops between two individuals who view each other as equals. And according to Davis, love is friendship with a few added components. In order for your friendship to be considered as successful, these 8 elements must be present. First is there must be an enjoyment, acceptance, trust, respect, mutual assistance, confiding in each other, understanding, and spontaneity. And however, Davis argues that in order for a friendship to be considered as a romantic love, the foregoing components must be paired with two broad components, such as first the passion, and it refers to the fascination of a person to the opposite sex, and it refers to the desire for exclusiveness and sexual desire. Next is caring. In a romantic relationship, caring is different from friendship because when you're in a romantic relationship, you will do anything in your power just to care for that person, even to the extent of self-sacrifice. So from that, we can come up to the definition of romance being a relationship between two people who are in love with each other, but who are not married to each other. And it also refers to the actions and feelings of people who are in love, especially behavior, which is very caring or affectionate. So in building romantic relationships, it's important first to undergo into the process of courtship. So there is really a great difference between traditional courtship and modern courtship. First, in traditional times, a man visits the girl at home, and it really shows how men are eager to court women because they are first asking for permission of the girl's parents. Well, now they can just easily ask the woman if they can court her without asking the parents' permission. So next is that showing courtesy towards the girl's family is really a must. But today, it's not. It's not necessary for a girl or a boy to tell their parents about their romantic relationship. During the traditional times, girls are also not allowed to call on boys. But today, there's already this notion that if you like me and I like you, then we're together. So there's no really a difference between liking and loving. So lastly, in traditional times, communication it takes place through giving love letters, through exchanging mails. But today, communication is through text messages, chats, or through social networking sites. So from this development, we can see the crucial role of social networking sites in building and maintaining social relationships. So to further discuss about this, Bim will give us a discussion about the development of romantic relationships through social networking sites.
Since we are in the modern digital age, social networking sites are now one of the avenues where communication takes place. According to Ellison, social networking sites are web-based services that allow individuals to construct a public or semi-public profile within a bounded system of that specific social networking site. Also, they articulate a list of other users with whom they share a connection, and they also view and traverse their list of connections and those made by others within the system. So, while social networking sites have implemented a wide variety of technical features, the basic and common features among many social networking sites are the following. Okay, so first, when a user enters or joins a social network site, they are asked to fill out forms containing a series of questions, and the profiles are generated using the answers to these questions, which typically includes descriptors such as age, location, interests, and other information that may be placed under the About Me section of that specific social networking site. Second, some sites allow or encourage their users to upload their profile pictures in order to identify themselves. Next, some sites also allow users to add multimedia contents in order to enhance their profiles. And aside from multimedia contents, they also allow or encourage the users to add anything that will help modify their user's profile look and feel. And then additionally, the public display of connections is a crucial component of social networking sites. The friends list contains links to each friend's profile, enabling viewers to traverse the network graph by clicking through the friends list. Moreover, most social networking sites also provide a mechanism for users to leave a message or messages on their friends' profiles. This feature typically involves leaving comments, or although other sites employ various labels for this feature. And in addition, some social networking sites also often have a private messaging feature where users can exchange communication in a more private manner. So this is a brief and incomplete timeline of the beginning and of social networking sites. So 6degrees.com was the first social networking site made available to the public in 1997, and afterwards numerous social networking sites have emerged and are still continuously emerging at the present. So as of April 2017, according to DreamGrow, the top 4 or the top social networking sites worldwide are Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Okay, so social networking sites are not only for friends making or friends maintaining, but it also plays a role in the development of romantic relationships. Okay, users in social networks bridge or are allowed to bridge their offline and online social network. Social networking sites enable users to articulate and make visible their social networks, both their online and offline social networks, and at the same time, participants or the users are primarily communicating not only with strangers but also with people who are already part of their extended social network. So, as previously said, social networking sites play a role in the building of romantic relationships. So, for example, on Facebook, Facebook has become the primary tool for interaction for the beginning stages of romantic relationships. The development of romantic relationships start when individuals meet or, in some instances, observe someone in the offline world. Then, if he or she likes that someone, you can send a Facebook friend request to that person. And since Facebook is like an open book, getting information about that person is easily achieved and in only a span of seconds. So individuals pay a lot of attention to the photos and also to photos that the users upload or the tagged photos alongside with the mutual friends they have. Furthermore, this helps the screening process or the filtering process for potential partners to be easily done. Then, the individuals may now begin to communicate via Facebook Messenger, which is a private messaging feature of Facebook. Subsequently, individuals may now start to go out in the offline world, and they may start now to date, and if their relationship flourish, they can now adopt the titles of boyfriends and girlfriends, and after that, a new stage in romantic relationship development is featured on Facebook, which they may now change their relationship status from single to in a relationship with their partner. Similarly, Twitter and Instagram have the same features. First, after meeting someone outside the online world, they can now follow that person, and then they may see that person's tweets, and then a private messaging feature is also present on Twitter. And then after a series of messages exchanged, the individuals may now go out, and then if things hit off, they can, and a relationship is built, a romantic relationship is built. This is publicly announced or publicly displayed by putting that your partner's username in the About Me section of Twitter. It is also the same on Instagram. You follow, and then you get to see the profile of that person, and then you also get to message that person, and then if things hit off, you can go out and date, and afterwards, when a romantic relationship is built, same with Twitter, you can also publicly display it by using or by placing your partner's username with the use of possessive elements. So speaking of the people who use romantic languages, Marge will now expound on this topic.
Now, basically, anyone can be a user and an audience of the Romance language in computer-mediated communication. But of course, the people who are in a relationship are we can say, the most suitable people to use this kind of language. Of course, the married couples can use this language to be able to express their love, to be able to express love. The people who are also in a relationship, those who are engaged, boyfriend or girlfriend stage, can also use such language. And of course, those who are developing romantic relationship may also use such language. Even if you're not really in the exclusively dating stage, those people who have mutual understanding tend to post posts that may show that somehow they are building relationship to one another. For the audience, anyone can be an audience. Anyone who can view the posts of these users can be considered as an audience of this romance language. Moving on, why do we use this language? What is the purpose? First and foremost, of course, to be able to express love. It is one form of public display of affection. The public nature of social networking sites gives people a chance to be able to express their love in a wider network of people, and they do it really quickly because of the features of the social networking sites. Furthermore, as I mentioned a while ago, the people who are not yet in a relationship may engage in using such language because it may be used to start a relationship. People can start using romantic language, the people they wanted to commit with, so that they can also court someone and to maintain relationships by greeting anniversaries or celebrations. As you can see, it's really prominent in social networking sites to greet happy anniversary, happy monthsary, or even weeksary. And then, of course, it is one way, as shown a while ago, to show the relationship status of the people by just indicating an apostrophe S in your About Me section or are just in Facebook in a relationship, or it's complicated, it says something about a lot about you. Now, to be able to explain the linguistic features that we have in this computer-mediated communication, we're going to use authentic messages in texting, in Instagram, and of course in Facebook. In text messages, it's quite difficult to have an authentic message in the local context since not everybody would upload their text or the conversation online. So we made use of what is available online. So in here, the first linguistic feature that we can get from the Romance language and computer-mediated communication in text messaging is, of course, the cheesy message or the sweet messages that they give to each other. For example, in the first picture in here, you can see, "Can I confess something?" And then the person answers, "Sure, your smile is the prettiest smile I have ever seen." And then the answer, "Can I confess as well?" And then, "Oh, sure, the smile only exists when I'm with you." It's, as you can see, the sweetness between in the conversation is really evident. Same goes to the second example, but I'm not really sure if the two pictures are related, although they might show some similarities, such as the use of emoticons, and they spell out the entire word. As far as we can see, it is spelled out. Moving on to the next linguistic feature that we can see in text messaging is the use of terms of endearment. Now, as you can see here, the person in this, the person who texts this message made use of the term baby. So I feel the same way, baby. I didn't even know it was possible to fall in love this many times with the same person. And the other example also shows another way of using initials as a term of endearment. In the example, you can see it's just W, but then that W is not just any W, but it pertains to William in this conversation. Moving on, another linguistic feature of romantic language or romance language is the use of emoticons, and I think it is really evident in text messaging and in social networking sites. Some people cannot even text without using emoticons, and some people even use emoticons to be able to express what they want to say without words actually. And here they use emoticon as a sign of creativity in showing his or her message. And then the response is also an emoticon, and another emoticon was used as a response. So they basically communicated using emoticons. And in here, it's a very creative way of talking, or it's like telling what happened. So it's like a picture of a man with a suitcase and shoes, and then, "Honey, I'm home." And then a picture of a girl with shoes and a kiss mark, and you're "Welcome home there." And then there's a picture of a baby in here which tells "Dad, Dad, Dad." So what happened in here is like the father went home, he was welcomed by the wife and by the child. So the use of emoticons is really essential in communication using text messaging. Moving on, let's now move to the Instagram post, linguistic features in Instagram posts. Well, the features found in text messaging in Instagram and in Facebook later on is quite similar. It is repetitive. It's just that they use a different avenue or different media in it. In this, as you can, we made use of 3 public couples or real-life couples, such as Billy Crawford, Colleen Garcia, Jesus Calera and Heart Evangelista, and Solen Yusuf and his husband. Now, in this first post, as you can see, Billy made use of, again, cheesy words, a cheesy caption that is really creative in a sense, and it is quite evident that Billy made use of or addressed Colleen as if she is talking to Colleen face to face. He used the second person instead of, even though he's speaking in public. And then for the next, the use of hashtags as well is used. Hashtag my everything and emoticon is present. And then as you can see, it's still sweet. Like, "I love this beautiful woman, hashtag my everything." It says a lot already. And then moving on, from the same user as well, the characteristic of being sweet, the use of terms of endearment. You can consider hashtag my life as a term of endearment, or the while ago, my everything can be called a term of endearment. But then again, the creativity using words, the hashtags is evident in this post. And again, of course, the shorty is one of their terms of endearment. Now, for the post of Heart Evangelista, it's quite unique in a sense that they just use just one emoticon in this post, just a simple heart emoticon, and the picture says a lot already. Heart Evangelista need not to express in words, but then I think they got the idea that this was posted in their anniversary, and then with the heart emoticon and the picture with the year, and then just the picture of them too happy, and it already says something. And then another way how Heart Evangelista used romantic language is of course the use of terms of endearment, darling, my darling. And then of course hashtag, Heart Evangelista is distinct in using this. It's like hashtag cheese heart 2/15/15. 2/15/15 is like their anniversary date, and then hashtag midnight madness. And then moving on to this post of Heart Evangelista, you can see she just made use of hashtags, pure hashtags. But then you can see the sweetness in here because in every post that she posts, there is hashtag CH Travels, which stands for Cheese Heart Travels. And of course, the use of emoticons, the heart. Heart Evangelista is really fond of using heart emoticons. So moving on, let's see how this couple make use of the Romance language in a really unique and humorous way. This was posted by Nico Balzica, the husband of Solen Yusuf, and you can see their term of endearment is really humorous, but then as you can see, the kind of relationship between the two is evident by the way they post. Nico Balzica addresses her wife as Wifezilla, and I think almost all of us is familiar with Godzilla, who is, you can consider a monster. And he addresses her wife as such. And Nico Balzica has a very funny way of using hashtags. He always started with hashtag time baby, and then sometimes he even ends it with hashtag time ends, something like that. Later on, there's an example. Just to reiterate, their way of sweetness is different. If you're going to read the entire caption, it's really funny, but then some people consider them as hashtag goals. So, and in this post was posted by Nico a day after Valentine's Day. So he stated there, we're not into Valentine's. You actually spend it with all the Alcacid. But it is always a good opportunity to remind you how much I love you. Let's never stop laughing, even though it is mostly at me. Te amo, Wifezilla, at Solen Yusuf. P.S. I know that Valentine's was yesterday, but I already mentioned that we're not into Valentine's, so I can post this anytime I want. So it's hashtag time, hashtag latent times, hashtag love scotch, and hashtag end of hashtag time. As you can see, there is the letter U as a shortening of the word you, and then there is the punctuation. Sometimes they try to omit it, but then it's still comprehensible, right? So to wrap this up, I got one post from Facebook. It's quite difficult to get Facebook posts from public couples, such as the ones that we have shown. But then this is a post from my friend, and it contains the same. It is cheesy, and the message is sweet, like so happy to share the same love for art with the person I love. So to wrap this up, basically the linguistic features of Romance language and computer-mediated communication is first, it possesses with messages or cheesy captions in any domains, in Instagram, Twitter, although it's not mentioned, and then in Facebook and in text messages as well. And then the use of emoticons is evident. Definitely some people just talk with the use of emoticons. And then the characteristic of text messages are also present because the way the media that they use, for example, cell phone or laptop, is almost similar, and therefore the way people construct their message can be similar. And then the use of hashtag, and lastly, the use of terms of endearment. Now, from all of this, we can say that the language and the Romance language and computer-mediated communication can show the creativity of people in expressing their love through the use of emoticons, their sweet words, and the use of hashtags. Also, the development of relationship is easier, faster, and affordable because communication is easier, faster, and affordable as well. So I think it is quite logical that the courting stage is faster compared to the traditional way of courting, because the way of communication right now is more advanced compared before. That is why it is faster than what it used to be. And then the perception of people about courting, sometimes people tend to think that you have to post during anniversaries because it seems like it's a trend already that you are supposed to post something if it is your anniversary. Although back then it was not a trend, of course. And that is related to another implication about the attitude. Some people are just pressured to post something, or this is an assumption that some people are just pressured to post something because everybody does it because it's like a trend. However, some people who prefers intimate it, as I said a while ago, some people are pressured. So that's basically it about the language of romance and computer-mediated communication. So I hope you learned something, and thank you very much for listening.